the talk show podcast section, bringing you daily health and information, where daily health is viewed as an ever-changing reality. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. This is Daily Health. Now, all information and resources are based on the opinions of the host, unless otherwise noted. All information is intended to motivate, encourage, and inspire positive change and a healthier lifestyle. This podcast contains some quotations, images, and/or excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. Welcome. You are listening to Daily Health. I am your host, Tony Williams. Welcome to new listeners, and thank you for coming back to the listeners that I already have. I hope you are having a great day thus far, and I'm just bringing you a little bit of news, health news that is, some awareness. There are a couple things going on that's affecting health. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this particular drug, but it is out there. It is, for short, is GHB. Now, it's one of those drugs that have been used in crimes. Let's say that. And at one point it had died down, but it seems to be making a comeback. I ran across an article that confirmed the suspicion that I had about this. And the article really piqued my interest, and I wanted to let you guys know what was going on with it, because it's a drug and it does affect health, and I don't want anyone to do anything to harm themselves. So you guys are aware. Now, let's jump into it. It had been several years since Professor Joseph Palmer had seen that unmistakable caveman face, the intelligent sign of an imminent overdose of gamma-hydroxybutyric acid, or GHB. Standing among those of concert goers at a Brooklyn music venue last year, Palmer spotted the bulky man with the contorted face nearby. He was struggling to remain conscious. And I know that has to be scary. But it continues. I've noticed that when people are meant to pass out and they keep forcing it, they make these very strange and primitive faces. Now, Palmer, an epidemiologist and associate professor of population health at New York University, Grossman School of Medicine, said that they look like they are in such euphoria it's almost painful. Within minutes, the man succumbed, apparently to the suppressive effects of the drug, and collapsed to the floor. Security staff raced over and carried him away. I know that has to be a sight. The ordeal reminded Palmer of New York's sweaty nightclubs at the turn of the millennium, the same venues that had sparked his interest in studying drug use. Back then, overdose, particularly on GHB, were so common that some clubs hired private ambulance to avoid 911 calls and police scrutiny. One club allegedly hid unconscious patrons in a back room without medical assistance. Oh, that's awful. Now, despite these efforts, the clubs didn't go unnoticed. After a rash of overdoses across the United States in the late 90s, Congress scheduled GHB as a controlled substance in 2000. Exposures to GHB reported to Poison Control Center fell almost immediately. So they kind of just backed off. But 20 years on, a new generation of recreational users, disproportionate number of them, it says, are gay and lesbian. Now, according to researchers, has discovered the drug, recent indictments in Texas federal court reveal that today's networks for distributing GHB aren't spread over local dealers, but far-flung markets linking buyers to legal businesses with dubious motives. Social media and the world's largest online marketplace are also tangled in that web. This illicit network generates millions of dollars each year and has spurred a small but growing crisis. for which federal regulators and the medical community appear ill-equipped and unprepared. That's kind of that's a nerve-wracking thought, but these things are happening. They happened back then, it kind of fell off, and it's back. Now, for anyone who's still kind of questioning what the hey GHB is, let's do a little GHB 101. Now, occurring naturally in the body, gamma-hydroxybutyric acid was first synthesized in a lab in the 1960s. Now, although its application in medicine has always been limited, GHB has had various recreational uses. In the 1980s, health food stores marketed the compound as a dietary supplement. Then, in the 90s, the drug found its way into American nightlife. In small doses, mere milliliters, GHB produces feelings of relaxation and confusion and heightened sexual arousal, leading to its allure as a party drug. It can also cause amnesia and hallucinations. When not particularly addictive, the drug has a step-dose response relationship, meaning the difference between experiencing euphoria and losing consciousness is a matter of a few drops of clear, viscous liquid. It is in this quality of GHB that gives it the nickname the date rape drug, although the compound is rarely a factor in sexual assault. So they say, but it does happen. Now, overdoses can result in coma and respiratory arrest, which to an unaccustomed observer may appear as if the affected person has only fallen asleep. Man. Now, GHB is a depressant, which means it slows down the messages traveling between the brain and the body. Now, GHB overdoses surged in the United States during the 1990s. In 1995, the Drug Abuse Warning Network recorded 145 emergency department visits for GHB-related illnesses in a single year. By 2000, this number was nearing 5,000. The same year, the American Association of Poison Control Centers logged some 2,000 exposures to GHB and its analogs, as well as 6 deaths. Now, in reacting to the growing crisis, Congress passed the Hillary J. Forrest and Samantha Reed date rape drug Prohibition Act of 2000. Pardon me. Which authorized the Attorney General to list GHB as a Schedule I controlled substance. The law, named after 2 teenagers who allegedly died from GHB overdoses after unknowingly ingesting the drug, also targeted GHB analogs or chemicals that are substantially similar to the illicit compound. 2 of these, GBL and BDO, Butanediol, were named in the Act's text. So this is something that's really going on, and it is a problem. It was a problem in the past, and it's a problem now. So people really have to be aware. Now, after the federal government targeted GHB, reports of its use began to fall. By 2005, poison control centers in the U.S. only recorded some 550 exposures to GHB and 1 death. During that same period, online retail grew to offer new avenues for buying and selling GHB and its analogs under the guise of legitimate business. Now, see, that's where it gets pretty dangerous and out there. Now, in 2002, its first major action against the sale of GHB, codenamed Operation Webslinger, federal agents busted 4 drug trafficking rings that had used the internet to connect with buyers. One of these operations, a mother-son team in Missouri, was accused of setting up a limited liability company called Miracle Cleaning Products to deal BDO online. Now, through their business, the duo could legally purchase the chemical in bulk form from U.S.-based suppliers and then distribute smaller quantities to their customers through the U.S. When law enforcement finally arrested the family, federal agents recovered 2,200 gallons of BDO and seized $300,000 in cash. Ultimately, the court sentenced the mother to 14 years in federal prison and the son to more than 8. It just goes to show how it's out there and it's happening, and we have to be aware because it's so much already going on that's targeting our health, how we care for ourselves and those we love, associates we know, friends, family. It's just, and it's apparently something that's pretty addictive because it's been going on for years, and it's on a rise and fall. But this is really, we have to be careful because this hurts the body, and we're supposed to be trying to live a healthy and positive lifestyle. And this GHB and these other chemicals and components, they're not good for the body. Now, popular LBGTQ Instagram account accused of mishandling donations is an article I want you guys to check into. I'm going to do that one, but I just wanted to drop that in there. Now, back to this GHB. Congress again took action by passing the Adam Walsh Child Protection and Safety Act in 2006. In addition to establishing the National Sex Offender Registry, the law had made it illegal to use the internet to sell GHB or its analogs to any person without a legal prescription to use the drug, or any business not authorized to handle the chemical. Anyone convicted of using the internet to sell these components to unauthorized buyers could face a fine and 20 years imprisonment. I'm not trying to go to jail. That's not good for my health. Or should I say prison? That's not good for anybody's health either. Now, the new law also authorized the Attorney General to develop regulations for record keeping and reporting by anyone handling BDO. To date, the Department of Justice has not established these requirements. So there's kind of some drag there. But this is affecting health, so they need to pick up the pace on that. Now, a spokesperson for the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, which is a part of the DOJ, said that it has not been any regulations that were authorized but not required by legislation, adding that 1/4 of butanediol is produced in large volumes for a multitude of legitimate industrial uses, none of which are intended for human consumption. See, this is not even supposed to be in the body. That's going to do damage. It's not made for the human body and its inner workings. And the body is very intricate. And so if people are ingesting something that is not even made for human consumption, it's going to be unhealthy for your body. We can't have that. Now, last month, federal agents raided Right Price Chemicals, a wholesaler in Texas, and arrested 9 individuals who were accused of distributing BDO for human consumption beginning in 2015. According to DOJ, the defendants had used the internet to sell the compound to buyers in 48 states. This is crazy. See, it's like wow, it's like a wildfire. Now, some of these buyers then dealt smaller quantities to other users. In just 4 years, sales of BDO generated $4.4 million for Right Price Chemicals. $4.5 million. Now, and that's according to the Department of Justice. Now, prosecutors also claimed that the product caused at least 2 deaths. And a lawyer for one of the defendants said that the Right Price Chemicals warned customers on its website and its products that BDO was not for human consumption. Simply because people misuse a product does not place criminal liability on the retailer of that product. Now, that was said by Ryan Gertz, the lawyer. Right Price Chemicals is a legitimate business that maintained, through records, paid taxes, employed experts to advise them about proper practices, and openly consulted with the government about its operations. Wow. See, that's running kind of deep, but it's not good for the human body. So it's a bunch of getting tangled up, and it's a problem because it's here. It's now. People are getting indicted and arrested and looks like apparently sued. Because I'm pretty sure a lawsuit will be coming from somebody on this matter. But the thing is, Right Price Chemicals is not the only business that has cashed in on BDO. Companies reportedly based in Europe, China, and India market the compound on English language websites. Stateside companies have also found success by selling BDO on Amazon, the world's largest online marketplace. As of last week, 2 third-party sellers offered customers sized quantities of BDO on Amazon. Now, Amazon removed these products after they were questioned. Interesting as well. This is concerning our health. Now, in the Internet of Public Health, some have chosen not to name the companies or share their websites and social media accounts. That's interesting also. One of the sellers markets its products as an organic reagent and heavy-duty cleaner with multiple at-home uses. Through the Drug Enforcement Administration maintains that 1,4-butanediol has no household applications. Okay, so you see what I mean? It's a lot of sneaky and shady. It's about making money. It's about these companies figuring out ways to, well, these people and companies are figuring out the way to sell this product, this compound, because really that's what it is. It's a compound that's being misused. If you know people are doing this, you might not want to sell that particular product. But, hey, I'm not the business owner. But it's a choice. It's a choice. Now, regardless of the labels, the warning labels and everything else that they allegedly have on their sites, and for those who do have sites for this product, it's just interesting how they have been getting away with it. Now, prior to early August, buyers could also purchase BDO through the website of one of the sellers using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Now, you know, Bitcoin, I mean, it's been around for a minute, but not a very long time. So it kind of gives you a timeline on how this is going and how long it's been going. It's just very interesting, and it's not good for the body. Now, one seller included a legal disclaimer on its Amazon product page stating that its BDO was not for human consumption. Nevertheless, commenters on several blogs, including Reddit, have discussed purchasing BDO as a GHB substitute through Amazon. Now, that could really get these companies in trouble, and that could really hurt their reputation, but it's an awareness for me as well as everyone else, and I want to make sure it's out there so you are aware to not buy it. Just don't buy it. People are saying, these companies are allegedly saying that it's good for household cleaning and it's organic and this, that, and the other, but it's being used for human consumption. Even though they have those warnings out there, they're just trying to cover their butts on that part. Now, some companies have also removed its offering of BDO from its websites and instead provided links directing customers to its product pages on the Amazon and Walmart marketplace. So it's infected pretty much into Walmart. So guys, be careful. Now, Amazon prohibits third-party sellers from using its marketplace to sell scheduled controlled substances like GHB and list 1 chemicals like GBL and BDO is neither. Still, Amazon specifies that its list of restricted products is not all inclusive, and the sale of unsafe products is strictly prohibited. Third-party sellers are independent businesses and are required to follow our selling guidelines when selling in our store. Those who do not will be subject to action, including potential removal of their accounts, an Amazon spokeswoman said. The products in question are no longer available. Well, Amazon, that's what you say, but we're going to see. Now, as for Walmart, Walmart also stated that they prohibit third-party sellers from selling controlled substances and products that are subject to regulatory actions or criminal enforcement. Like Amazon, Walmart removed 1,4-butanediol products from its website following a request for comment. Now, in a statement, a Walmart spokeswoman said, "We strive to make our third-party marketplace a trusted destination for safe, high-quality products. We require our third-party sellers to comply with all applicable laws and our prohibited products policy. We removed the product butanediol from marketplace and have taken steps to prevent sellers from listing similar items going forward." Now, of course, when you try to contact the company, they don't really want to respond, and so they didn't respond after, a request. But one of the sellers, however, appears to have moved to another major online marketplace after being removed from Amazon and Walmart.com. This marketplace, whose name we will not publish because of public safety, makes sellers' purchase histories publicly available and shows the seller earned over $2,670 in 48 hours this week from selling 35 units of BDL. So, okay, it just goes to show you kick them off your site, they're gonna find another site to get this and try to push this through. They're making money off of this, and they are not caring about anyone's health. Now, here we care, Daily Health, we care about health. We want people to live a long and relatively healthy life. And that works by having, a healthy mindset, choice, what you consume. We have to remember that whatever goes in the body is going to affect something, especially when it's not for human consumption. And it's a shame that money is being made off of this, off of hurting people's health and people dying. But it's a comeback of the party drug. Now, as online marketplace for GHB and its analogs has grown in recent years, researchers have seen an uptick in the drug's recreational use. So, even through surveys, for certain demographic groups, the use of GHB is far more widespread. In another survey taken from 2016 to 2018, a group of researchers at NYU and Rutgers University found that both gays and lesbians at electronic dance parties were at higher odds for GHB use than straight patrons. Now, according to the study, gay men were nearly 12 times more likely than heterosexual men to self-report GHB use within the past year. Lesbians were nearly 7 times more likely than straight women. While gays and lesbians reported comparable or higher rates of use across most surveyed drug types, the difference in GHB use between gay and straight attendees was by far the greatest. It's that nightlife. It's that following the crowd. It's that, come on, let's party, let's get there. But it is dangerous for the body. But it's back, and we have to be aware so we can protect others, ourselves, and everything like that, because this is This is getting out of hand, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's back, and it's getting worse. So, do not take GHB. You don't need a drug to party. You really don't. Now, surpassing this rise in industry and our industries like online retail and social media, which came of age in the same time frame and which therefore lack experience with the drug. Now, in such a lax environment, the front lines for addressing GHB abuse have shifted to unlikely places. Several nightclubs and parties, including Guy Smith events, now enforce a zero-tolerance policy on GHB. The move is not without its naysayers, but of course, there's naysayers in everything. But our health is key. Health is key. But the thing is, are they going to enforce those policies? Because it's one thing to say or proclaim these policies, create them, post them, put them up. But are they really and truly going to be enforced, or is greed for money, going to override human safety? Male, female, gay, straight, doesn't matter. Don't use it. Just don't use it. And I'm going to leave a link. If you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, any of those places, you can find those links there. Pardon me, I have to dry mouth. I really have to dry mouth, and it's kicking my butt. 1 second. Oh. Okay, better. Sorry, guys. Okay, so if you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, WordPress, you can even find me over on Spreaker and all of your favorite podcast sites. But your health is important, and in taking care of yourself and others, don't use GHB, BDO, GBL. Leave all those chemicals alone. And for those who really don't care, I'll say this. Money is not everything. There's good money and there's bad money. Don't let greed make you stumble and hurt someone else's health. Not cool. So just be aware. People around you, friends, coworkers, anybody acting a little strange, a little weird, going through some primitive, like it was stated, faces or emotions, that's your moment to dial 911 to make sure that you can try to get them some help before it's too late. So can we just say this old saying, just say no to drugs. Just say no. You don't have to do it. You really don't have to do it. But let me know what you think about this. It's got me a little frustrated. This one really kind of, bothers me because it actually has been used in a assault situation. A lot of it doesn't get reported, and probably the ones who do report being raped or so forth by it, you really don't have much memory, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to speak up and say something, and the ones who do tell, it's still kind of hush-hush because a lot of times the people don't get caught. So just take care of your health. Stay close to your friends. Don't take, when you're out, ladies, when you're out, even gentlemen, because it's happening to men too. When you're out at a event or club or whatever, and I'm saying this right now because there are still people that are going out and going to bars and going different places to kick it and have fun. So not only they're not wearing masks, but they're using GHB and so forth. Don't accept drinks from people that you don't know. Make sure you're watching who's pouring your drink. if you gotta go to the restroom while you're at an event or club or spot or even somebody's house, don't leave your drink. Don't leave your drink. Because if you're gonna leave it, don't drink it when you come back. Don't even touch it. And that's just a little tip to help out with that, so you don't end up getting that drug getting dropped in your drink or what have you. So just be aware of your surroundings and the character of those around you, because ultimately it does, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, affect your health. And we want to be healthy. We want to live long. So you guys take care. And I will see you next time. Much love and respect to everyone. Have a fabulous day. And take care of yourself. You have been listening to On One Radio, the Talk Show Podcast. This has been Let's Talk Daily Health, where daily health is viewed as an ever-changing reality. If you would like to get in contact with On One Radio, the email is onOneRadioTalk@gmail.com. Place it to the attention of Daily Health. I have been your host, Tony Williams, and thank you for listening. For more, you can find me on YouTube. The name is Tony On One. You can find On One Radio on Facebook. On One's Day One is private Facebook group. WordPress, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. On One Radio is out there.